Differences between class limits and class midpoints. Class limits versus class midpoints. Data values are grouped into classes of equal widths, and the smallest and largest observations in each class are called class limits. Whereas, class midpoints are the values in the middle of the class limits. The aim of class limits is to split a set of discrete values into classes that tell you which value fall into which group. Whereas, the aim of class midpoints is to determine mean of grouped and ungrouped data and to create a histogram to visualize the values in a frequency table. Class limits focus on the least and greatest numbers that can belong to the class. Whereas, class midpoints focus on taking average of the upper limit and the lower limit of a class in a frequency distribution. In other words, the class mark is the mid-value of the given class interval. Class limits helps in separating one class in a grouped frequency distribution from another. Whereas, midpoints helps in the calculation of the mean by serving as the representative value for each class interval when multiplying by the corresponding frequency before summing up the products and dividing by the total number of data points, and also help in making histogram. Formula of finding number of classes, range and class interval are given for comparison, whereas formula of class midpoint or class marks are given, which is the sum of lower class limit and upper class limit divided by 2. Class limits are also known as inclusive classes, whereas class midpoints are also known as mid-value, central value and class mark. Class limits are used in grouped data and there is no usage in ungrouped data. Whereas, class midpoints are often used when you want to create a histogram to visualize the values in a frequency table. Class limits are important in data analysis as they help to organize and group data into meaningful categories for easier interpretation and analysis. Whereas, when analyzing a frequency table, finding the midpoint for each interval is important because it helps approximate the mean when individual data values are not known. In example, you can see class weights, which are class limits that are given in first column. After that, compute lower class boundaries by subtracting 0.5 from lower class limits to get lower class boundaries in second column. In third column, by calculating upper class boundaries, add 0.5 in upper class limits to get upper class boundaries. In fourth column, you can write class boundaries. In this way you can fill the rest of frequency distribution table by making 4 columns for class midpoints, tally, frequencies, and entries, respectively. Kindly subscribe my YouTube channel Thesis Helper. Thanks for watching.